You need to watch this if you struggle with trust. Trust is a fragile thing, easily broken and hard to rebuild. It's the foundation of any relationship, and without it, everything can crumble. But what happens when the person you trust the most has a secret so profound, it changes everything you thought you knew about them? Because sometimes, the truth is hidden right under your nose. You think you know someone. You think you understand their every move, their every thought. But then, a revelation comes along that shakes you to your core. It's like finding a hidden room in a house you've lived in for years. A room filled with secrets and stories you never imagined. All those years, I thought I knew my wife. We shared everything. Our dreams, our fears, our daily routines. We laughed together, cried together, and built a life together. But there was a part of her that I never saw, a part that she kept hidden from the world, even from me. We met in the military back in '94. It was a time of uncertainty and danger, but also a time of camaraderie and trust. We were young, full of hope and determination, ready to face whatever challenges came our way. She was strong, capable, and always had my back. Little did I know she was more than just a soldier. She was a force to be reckoned with. She was my rock, my everything. But I had no idea just how special she really was. Every day felt normal. We had our routines, our little rituals that made life feel stable and predictable. She was always there, a constant presence in my life, grounding me and giving me strength. But beneath that calm exterior was a world of secrets and hidden talents. The kids, the job, the little surprises she'd leave for me, like that tactical green backpack. It was a simple gesture, a gift that seemed practical and thoughtful. But now, looking back, I realize it was so much more. It was a clue, a piece of the puzzle that I was too blind to see at the time. That backpack was a symbol of her hidden life, a life that was about to collide with mine in the most unexpected way. But one day, on the way back from the gunsmith, things took a sinister turn. It was a day like any other, or so I thought. I was driving home, lost in my thoughts, when I noticed something strange. A black SUV, windows tinted, following me. At first I thought it was just a coincidence, but as the minutes passed, a sense of unease began to creep in. A black SUV, windows tinted, following me. It stayed just far enough behind to avoid suspicion, but close enough that I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. My heart started to race and my mind went into overdrive. Who were they? What did they want? And why were they following me? My instincts from the hood kicked in. Something wasn't right. Growing up in a tough neighborhood, you learn to trust your gut. You learn to recognize danger before it strikes. And in that moment, every instinct I had was screaming at me to get out of there. I checked my mirrors, trying to get a better look at the SUV, but the tinted windows revealed nothing. And boy was I right. The next few moments were a blur of adrenaline and fear. The SUV sped up, closing the distance between us. I knew I had to act fast. I swerved into a side street, hoping to lose them, but they followed, relentless and determined. My mind raced with possibilities, each one more terrifying than the last. Shots fired, concrete shattering around me. The sound of gunfire filled the air, and I felt a surge of panic. This was no ordinary chase. This was a life-or-death situation. I ducked down, trying to make myself a smaller target, as bullets whizzed past me. The world around me seemed to slow down, every second stretching into an eternity. I was in a high-speed chase for my life, my new 9mm in hand, firing back while weaving through traffic at 105 miles per hour. The streets became a blur of lights and sounds, my focus narrowing to the task at hand. I had to survive. I had to make it home. The SUV was relentless, but so was I. Every shot I fired was a desperate attempt to buy myself a few more seconds, a few more feet of distance. When I finally made it home, battered and shot, I collapsed into my wife's arms. The relief was overwhelming, but it was short-lived. I could see the fear in her eyes, the worry etched into her face. She held me tightly, her hands trembling as she tried to assess my injuries. But there was something else in her eyes, something I couldn't quite place. But this wasn't the end. Oh no, it was just the beginning. The look in her eyes shifted from fear to determination. She wasn't just worried about me, she was preparing for something big. I could see the gears turning in her mind, the calculations and plans forming. This was a side of her I had never seen before, a side that was both terrifying and awe-inspiring. She pulled me into the truck, her face steely and determined, blood on her hands from a battle I missed while unconscious. I tried to ask her what was happening, but the words wouldn't come. My mind was a fog of pain and confusion. All I could do was trust her, trust that she knew what she was doing. And as she drove, her eyes never leaving the road, I began to realize just how much I didn't know about the woman I had married. 4 days earlier, she'd given me that backpack, a new 9mm, and a glimpse into a life I never knew she led. At the time, I thought it was just a thoughtful gift, a way to show her love and support. But now, I understood that it was so much more. It was a lifeline, a way to prepare me for the storm that was coming. She had been trying to protect me, to give me the tools I needed to survive. I woke up in the back of the truck, her yelling on the phone, calling for ghost protocol. The words were foreign to me, but the urgency in her voice was unmistakable. She was in command, taking control of the situation with a calm and confidence that left me in awe. This was a side of her I had never seen before, a side that was both terrifying and awe-inspiring. My wife, my sweet, loving wife, was a special operator. The realization hit me like a ton of bricks. All those years, all those little hints and clues that I had missed, suddenly made sense. She wasn't just a soldier, she was a highly trained, highly skilled operative. And now, she was our only hope for survival. Trained, deadly, and now, our only hope for survival. The weight of that knowledge settled over me, a mix of fear and pride. She had been living a double life, balancing the demands of her job with the responsibilities of being a wife and mother. And now, all of that training, all of those skills, were being put to the ultimate test. In that moment, I saw her for who she truly was, a warrior, a fierce, determined warrior who would stop at nothing to protect her family. The love and admiration I felt for her grew tenfold, mingling with the fear and uncertainty of the situation. I knew that whatever came next, we would face it together. And I knew we were in for the fight of our lives. The road ahead was uncertain, filled with danger and challenges we couldn't yet imagine. But with her by my side, I felt a glimmer of hope. We were a team, bound by love and trust, ready to face whatever came our way. The journey was just beginning, and I knew it would test us in ways we had never been tested before. Stay tuned, because the real story is just beginning. This was just the tip of the iceberg, the opening chapter of a story that would take us to the edge of our limits and beyond. The secrets, the revelations, the battles yet to come, they would shape us, change us, and ultimately define us. So stay with us, because the adventure is far from over.